Now, Ms. Maria Papadopoulou, crew manager of Aerio Shipmanagement, is going to present smooth sailing by enhancing interpersonal skills for seafarers. And then we have a coffee break, so everybody can take a breath.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Maria Papadopoulou of Aerio Crew Manager, and I will discuss today regarding the smooth sailing of enhancing interpersonal skills for seafarers. What are the interpersonal skills? Interpersonal skills are skills you use to understand, communicate, and relate with other people. Where interpersonal skills apply? People use interpersonal skills all the time when dealing with others, whether in their workplace, in social situations, with family. And those people with good interpersonal skills, verbal and non-verbal, seems to be good with the people. What are the reasons we communicate? The reasons we communicate are psychology, need for a contact, social reasons, forming relationships, compliance with social rules, decision-making, exchange an information, we evaluate an information, or maybe to exercise influence. So everybody wants to communicate. The modes of communication are the speech and language, eye contact, gesture and pantomime, facial expression, body posture, tone and volume of the voice, drawing, writing, and typing. Let's see some examples. How do you think would be the reaction of the receiver of the below cases? So this gentleman with the body language is clearly seems that he's pointed out the finger. Here we have two pictures that we can see that hope to see you soon. With the body language, in the first picture we can see that no one of those friends would like to see each other soon. However, in the second picture, we can see that they really want to see each other soon. In the third picture, we can see that how important is the eye contact, the smiling, and the place we put our shoulders when we give the hand. So the body language is very, very important. Definition of communication. Communication in process is a process that involves sending and receiving messages through the verbal and non-verbal methods. Communication is a two-way means of communicating information in the form of thoughts, opinions, and ideas between two or more individuals with the purpose of building of understanding. Basis to a latest research, 70% of the communication is either misprinted or misunderstood, rejected, distorted, or can be heard. Why we face this kind of problems in our communication? Because we talk more than we listen. We have lack of attention. We think we know in advance what the speaker will tell us. Perception, viewpoints, attitudes, and opinions. We think that we know in advance what we will listen. We do not realize that most of the problems are miscommunication instead of the relationship problems. We disregard that our actions mean more than our words. Emotions, we scare to express our opinion and our thoughts because we're afraid that our people will criticize us. Effective communication is to create a common perception that is received in a positive manner so that you can together agree on a further action of decision. Understanding the emotion and intentions behind the information and be able to clearly convey a message. Let's see the elements of the communication. The communication process involves understanding, sharing, and meaning, and it consists of 8 essential elements: the sender, the message, the channel, the receiver, the context, the environment, the interference, and the last one is the feedback. The sender is the one who creates, who initiates the communication process by creating a message and deliver it to the receiver. The sender must be clear about the purpose of their message and must choose the best words, tone, and medium to communicate their messages effectively. They must also consider who is the receiver and adjust their message accordingly. The sender should always take into account the context of the conversation and the relationship between themselves and the receiver. Without a clear understanding of these components, effective communication will not occur. The message. Communicating a message occurs in many forms, including a verbal, the words, and non-verbal, the tone or body language, written, visual, and listening aspects. Good and effective communication requires the message to be clear, complete, concise, and well-crafted when we discuss about written messages, providing to the receiver with all the necessary information. By understanding the components of communication and focusing on communicating a message, senders can ensure that their intended messages are received and understood by the receiver. The channel. The path that is used to communicate with each other, called channel. Examples of channels used for communication include telephone, email, letters, web chat, face-to-face meetings, video conferencing, and even the text messages. We have to answer to the below questions if we would like to ensure a successful communication. Does this channel we will use provide a good opportunity to send a clear message? Will the receiver be able to receive this message? Is it appropriate to use this particular channel in this context? Fourth is the receiver. The receiver is a person who listens and reads or sees the message. Without the receiver, it will be impossible for messages to be received and interpreted. Therefore, it is important for both the sender and the receiver to pay attention to each other and make sure that their messages are understood correctly. The context. The context is the environment in which the communication takes place, including the physical space, cultural norms, and any shared experiences between the sender and receiver of the message. Understanding the context is the key to effective and successful communication. The context can influence how a message is received, interpreted, and understood both parties. For example, if two people are speaking in a quiet library, they will most likely use formal language than if they will speak in a loud bar. The environment. Albert Einstein said that the environment is the physical and psychological atmosphere where you transmit and receive messages. Other people, animal, technology can all affect how we communicate. The environment of communication is setting in which conversation takes place. It includes physical, cultural, and social components. Physical elements such as noise, furniture, physical distance of two people can all affect the quality and clarity of the communication. The cultural environment, such as the language being spoken and the norms of behavior and interactions, can have a significant impact of the communication process. The social environment includes relationships between people that can influence the way of a message is interpreted or received. Understanding these components of communication environment is essential and effective to the communication. Interference. Interference in communication, often called the noise, that it can be physical noise or can be caused by many other sources. We can improve our communication skills by understanding any potential sources of interference and ensure that our messages are accurately understood by our receivers. Finally is the feedback. The reaction the receiver gives to the sender is known as feedback. Feedback is an essential part of our communication as it allows us to understand if our message has been received and understood by the receivers. It also allows the sender to adjust their messages if it is necessary and to create a better understanding between both parties. Without feedback, communication would be one-sided and would be difficult for two people to truly understand each other. Let's conclude. It is vital to recognize and understand each of these components and how they interact with one another to have a meaningful dialogue. The sender, the message, the channel, the receiver, the context, the environment, the interference, and finally the feedback are all the components you need for a successful communication. Let's see some of the ways in order to improve the interpersonal relationships among the seafarers. Working on a ship is a team effort. A one-man show cannot run the whole ship. In order to perform operations smoothly and safely on board the ships, good interpersonal skills, it's a must. Working on a ship, it is not an easy task, and dissatisfaction and demotivation can easily be developed among the seafarers as a result of various kinds of stresses. As the number of people working on board is limited, everyone should try to know each other in order to understand the values, knowledge, and skill each one has. This is the first step towards developing the interpersonal relation skills on board. For example, the morning meeting, known as toolbox meeting, which is conducted to assign work to team members, is the best time to get all the crew members together. It is necessary that crew members talk to each other during such meetings and discuss their views and opinions. Its members should be given the chance to provide suggestions regarding improvement of work process and safety precautions to be taken. This activity gives to the crew members a sense of responsibility and importance, and also works a great deal in enhancing their performance and interpersonal relationships. Tea breaks. The tea breaks, if used efficiently, can work wonders towards enhancing team effort. It should be made compulsory to get all crew members together during tea breaks to discuss the work in progress and other important things that they feel are necessary. Onboard training and the safety meetings. Onboard training session is yet another important opportunity to get crew members together to impart important working knowledge or conduct safety committee meetings. Captain and chief engineer should arrange the meetings in such a way that maximum crew are able to participate. Spending time together. Recreation is an important factor for positively effective seafarers' mental health and acting as quite effective team bonding tool. It is very common, and we can see very often, that post-working hours, officers and crew members are going to their own rooms instead of spending time together to watch a movie, to play video games, to play cards, to host a karaoke night, to play billiard, to play a backgammon game, or maybe to work out together. Interactive is the solid way to know each other and build great relationships both on and off work. All who understand that in many ways effective communication begins with mutual respect, communication that inspires and encourages others to do their best. Thank you very much.
It is time for coffee, sponsored by IMEX Center Psychometrics tests that can be a great tool for scrutinizing new applicants and also for promotional reasons. You may go for coffee and a cigarette. Thank you.